Hello there guys and welcome, it's Aaron here and today it is time for some more FIFA 14 Aston Villa career mode. This is episode number 34 of the series, and before we get underway I just want to thank you guys. I know I did it at the end of the last episode, but I'm going to do it again. Thank you so much for 800 subscribers. We hit that milestone about 3 days ago. Obviously I'd be absolutely nowhere with you guys, I'd be completely and utterly stuffed, so thank you for all your support and watching my videos. It really helps me out and it's really appreciated. And all the comments and likes are great. As you can see in the background, we've got the calendar going on, and the next 3 months are not looking that delightful whatsoever. We've got to play Arsenal and Manchester United in this episode alone. And just before we start, this is how the table looked at the end of the last episode. Didn't really get time to put it on. We lead the way with a 100% record, the only team with that, an 11 goal difference already. What about half the goal difference we got last season combined? We're on 12 points. 4 points clear of Manchester City and Arsenal, who will be playing in the first game of the episode, then Spurs 4th and Manchester United 5th, who will be playing in the second game of the episode in the Capital One Cup third round. Liverpool are 6th there with West Brom and Southampton. Those guys are all on 7 points. Chelsea not having the greatest of starts there, level with West Ham and Stoke. And down towards the bottom, Reading, Leicester, both those two teams newly promoted in this career mode, always finding it difficult. And Swansea still without a point to their name. Just outside the relegation zone there are Everton and Newcastle, both of which not getting great starts to the season at all. But now just before we get into the first game, just having a look at the stats. The top scorer here, Christian Benteke of Aston Villa with 2 clear of West Ham striker Andy Carroll and our very own Filip Juricic. So 10 goals there between our two top strikers. Muriel there, Van Persie, David Nugent, Negredo, James Morrison, Jerome, Bale, Suarez, Dyer, Gutierrez, Aguero, Johnson and Sinclair make up the top 15, and Bruma also in there as well as an Aston Villa player in 24th with 2. In terms of assists, Clement Grenier is absolutely miles clear with 5, in front of Brunt, Jarvis, Walcott, Sinclair, Cisse, Dell, Benteke as well there. 2 more Aston Villas featuring Aston Villa players even featuring. Then Andy King and Mame Biram Diouf finalising the top 10. Just beyond that, we've got Coutinho, Sandro and Chadley there with Collins, Danny and Berbatov as well. I don't think there's any more Aston Villa players featured in the list whatsoever, but great to see 3 players in that assist chart with Grenier so far in front. Not one of our goalkeepers, unfortunately, in the clean sheets. That's being headed by Al Habsi, Tim Krul of Everton now, and David De Gea of Manchester United. But hopefully by the end of this episode, we may see Ron Robert Zieler or Siegrist, whoever's probably Ron Robert Zieler in that chart at least. But now we're going to get into the first game of the episode against Arsenal, and this is going to be tricky, a lot trickier than last season. Obviously, Arsenal didn't have the greatest of seasons last season, but Arsenal are 3rd in the league going into this one, and this is the team we've been playing: Zieler, Klein, Ake and Vla. So Ake coming into the team for his first start. Lowton there at left back, then Grenier, Roeder, and Zogbia coming into the side midfield with Bakley, Juricic and Benteke there up front. So I don't think Bakley played against his old team PSV in that Champions League game. So Bakley coming in and Zogbia coming in and Nathan Ake coming in for his first ever start in the team on loan, of course, from Chelsea. The first chance of the game would go towards Bakley, sending the ball over the top in the 3rd minute for Christian Benteke, but under pressure he blasted it over the bar on sort of a volley. He had to stretch his leg up there to get there, but Roeder doing what he does best, intercepting the ball in the middle of the park, giving it to Klein, who gives it to Grenier, and Zogbia then feeding it through for Juricic, but a great save from the Polish goalkeeper Wojciech Szczesny, keeping us at bay. Grenier would then have another chance from the free kick, a bit of a heavy touch, but he manages to get the strike away, and Szczesny again with a great save, forcing it away for a corner. But Roeder yet again doing exactly what he did in the career mode team builder and what he loves to do on a regular basis, winning the ball back. Bakley then plays over Juricic, he hits the post, and Benteke is there to put in the rebound. Great strike from Juricic. Szczesny certainly didn't have that one covered, but as Roeder there celebrates with Benteke, of course Roeder, the German, setting up that move by winning the ball in the centre of the park. Good ball over the top from Bakley to Juricic and Benteke there. To be honest, Arsenal were quite poor. Arsenal were really quite poor in this first half of the game. Bakley then forcing another save from Wojciech Szczesny, and there a really acrobatic effort from Benteke after the ball back in from Juricic, saved by Szczesny, but from the resulting corner it was 2-0, and Clement Grenier of all people with the header, looping over Wojciech Szczesny. Szczesny again quite unlucky. To be honest, I didn't actually know what had happened. It was a really looping header and I didn't really know what had happened at all, but on later review you can see that it does bounce off the top of the Arsenal player, and I think is it Jack Wilshere? I'm not entirely sure who it does bounce off the top of, but it loops over Szczesny. It means he can't get anywhere near it to make it 2-0. And I promise you guys, I'm playing this on World Class, but it was so easy there. Arsenal's first and only chance in the first half there coming for Dzeko, but blasting it right at Zila, but look at this move. Benteke there, getting the shot away, and the rebound finished off by Grenier to get his second. Great move, including Roda, Backley, Benteke and Grenier. I think Juricic was probably involved somewhere on the lines, but the inevitable shot, the eventual shot, saved by Szczesny after Benteke blasted it at him. But a nice little dink finish there from Grenier. He could have just run the ball into that in the end. Moving on though into the second half, it was a bit of a dull second half in comparison, but Bakuna, who came off the bench there with a nice little feint inside and forcing the save from Szczesny. Wish he'd used his right foot really, but then Arsenal came back into the game really a bit too late with only 10 minutes left. Akri Sanya forcing the save from Zila, and then Giroud being played through, really should have scored, finessing it past the post though in the end, and that would be it. Arsenal really only turning up in the last 15 minutes of the game. Their passing play was poor, as you would imagine Arsenal passing play, even in FIFA, to be really amazing, you know, their style in real life, but it just wasn't really on point. Ours was. And looking at the ratings, great rating for Nzogbia, one of the players who stayed on the pitch. Grenier getting an 8.2 after that brace. Benteke getting an 8.3 as well. Good ratings for Zila, Vlaar, Loughton and Klein, as well as a decent one for Ake and Backley as well. So the back four doing a great job in that one. But before we get into the next game of the episode, we're just going to have a look at the squad report. Zila, Klein, Papadopoulos and Vlaar all staying the same, as well as Loughton there on 77. Grenier still on 82, having gone up 1. Roda now up to 78. Delph up to 76. Backley gone up 2 now to 78. Juricic now up to 80. Benteke on 83, got Stuart Dwyer here, one of the young players on 65, Meyer at 1 to 68, Groomer there, still the same on 76, Baker having gone up on some technical stats, up 1 as well, Abolahor and Clark staying static, as well as Nzogbia there, who's starting to get to his prime really in terms of age. Ignatovic up 1, Luka Longo not up any, but despite having some physical attributes going up, Ake up 1, Romagnoli staying the same for Segrist there on 67, Bakuna at 173, Lacazette staying the same, he's only been in the team for half a month though, so you can understand that. Garner at 1, Westwood there staying the same, and we've got Burke and some of the rest of the players out on loan. Johnson up 1, Stevens up 1, Bowery and Bennett up 1, as well as Grealish, Caruthers and Jordan Graham all at 1 stat. But now we're going to get into a youth scout report. I haven't had one of these in a while. My youth scout is currently out in France, and instantly I looked at Nadia Letelier. There with 53 to 69 starting overall. He's definitely going to be signed. Decided to sign him. And also the guy who we've been scouting from last month, Thomas Leggett, decided to keep the rest of those guys being scouted. Laporte, Abdullah, Ramano and Courtois, something Courtois. Decided to scout them for a bit. Not entirely sure whether they'll be brought up into the youth team or not. But now it is time to get into the second game of the episode. It is in the Capital One Cup. So ideally I'd like to be playing some young players, however we are playing against Manchester United, and also quite a lot of our young players are actually out on loan, so I didn't really have much to choose from in terms of the young players. This is a team I will be putting out though. Zila, Klein, Papadopoulos and Vlaar, with Baker coming in at left back to replace Loughton. They've got Grenier and Max Meyer coming into the side, with Delph in midfield, Bruma, Juricic and Benteke up front, with a few young players on the bench such as Romagnoli, I think Morpay was there, and who else was there? Yuri Ignatovic, I think, was on the bench as well. So some young players there making onto the bench, but we would get the first chance of the game. Benteke turning past the slide tackle, giving it to Juricic with a nice reverse ball, and it's in. Yet another early goal. I cannot believe the standard of games we've been having this season. So many early goals, so many goals in general. Great bit of play from Benteke, that nice little reverse ball. The control there from Juricic, and then he opens his body out. De Gea gets a palm to it, but he's unable to keep it out to make it 1-0 to us. But only 5 minutes later, Welbeck play through, bit of luck there, but a nice scissor kick finish in the 20th minute to equalise. I'm not sure who played the ball in for him. I think it might have been Nani, I'm not entirely sure, who someone who's about to run into the celebration. No, we're not going to see them on the screen. But anyway, it was a nice ball from whoever. Oh, it was Ashley Young. Ashley Young played the ball in for Danny Welbeck. Baker got a bit of a foot to it, but it bounced up off Welbeck, and he put in a very nice finish there. Young then playing the ball to Welbeck. He turns past Vlaar and makes it 2-1. So now we've got 3 goals in about 12 minutes, 27 minutes overall. But Danny Welbeck bringing back a bit of a comeback. Well, I mean, say it's a comeback. There's still a long way to go in this one. Wilfred Zaha just celebrating there with his teammates. But a nice turn from Welbeck and a really nice finish past Zila. Unable to save it. Not really going to be angry at him for not saving that, because it was quite a good shot. But Benteke, they're winning the ball back, playing it back for Max Meyer for his first ever Aston Villa goal. It's been coming for so long. We've been waiting forever for Max Meyer to score his first Aston Villa goal, but Benteke winning the ball back. I think of Johnny Evans or Phil Jones, one of the two, really slack defending, cutting the ball back for Meyer. It's a bit of a sweaty square, but it's a nice finish there into the roof of the net for Max Meyer's first ever goal for Aston Villa to equalise to make it 2-2. But now moving into the second half, Fabio putting the ball in towards Vidic, and Man U are really strong from aerial opportunities, and really Vidic should have been putting that one in. But then Johnny Evans caught yet again, and this time Juricic is through, and he blasts it in for his 8th goal in all competitions this season, past David De Gea. Nothing the Spanish goalkeeper could do. Really nice finish into the bottom hand corner. And yeah, Man U just pressing the self-destruct button again. I seem to remember them doing this last year. I think it was 3-2 last year as well. I think they won though in one of the games. But a really nice finish from Juricic past De Gea in the 74th minute to make it 3-2, and he almost got his hat-trick, cutting inside and managing to almost bumble the ball into the back of the net, but De Gea managing to get onto the ball. In the last minute, Valencia putting the ball in to the back post for Darren Fletcher. He puts the ball back in. Zila makes a hash of it. It falls to Jones to nod it even. Agonisingly past the post. I thought they were going to score. I don't know how they didn't, but Ignatovic off the bench. He was put through on goal, and then he took the corner and almost set up Roda at the near post for a header. That would be the final action of the game, and it would end 3-2. Ignatovic there coming off the bench for only his second ever appearance, first professional appearance, because he only came on, I think, as a substitute in a friendly before. He played quite well actually after coming off the bench. Didn't get a rating, but a great rating there for Benteke. Alright ratings for Baker as well as Bruma, but Juricic will be the man getting man of the match with an 8.9, understandably, with those 2 goals. But now we end the episode then with the table, and we still have a 100% record. Just don't ask me how this has happened, because last season we couldn't score goals for toffee. Yet this time we are absolutely slamming them home. On 15 points, 5 clear of Spurs and West Brom. What a start to the season they've had. Manchester City and Manchester United tied there on 8 points in 4th and 5th, with Chelsea there having a better episode on 8 as well. Southampton and Arsenal, who of course lost to us this episode. Then we've got Liverpool and Sunderland rounding out the top 10, with down at the bottom Reading, Leicester and Swansea finally picking up their for their first point of the season, with that pretty bad goal difference, as well as Leicester's not really helping them out, with Fulham just outside the relegation zone. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much. Yet another goal spree. I'm going to have to count how many goals there's been in the last 3 episodes, but it's been pretty insane, to be quite honest. I hope you have a great day. I hope you really did enjoy the madness of this episode. Once again, thank you for 800 subscribers. I really appreciate the support I've been getting recently, so I hope you have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.